Hello guys, welcome back to another Uchu Sentai Q Ranger review. This is Q Tamagatai series number 06. Six? I'm not New Zealand. This is New Zealand? Wow, what a good start to the review. Hebitsukai Voyager. So, before we get to the actual Hebitsukai Voyager, we're going to do what we did in Tenbin's review. We're going to take a look at the box, the packaging, whatever you want to call it. So, on the front, you've got the Hebitsukai Voyager, you've got the Hebitsukai Q-Tama, you've got Kirano with an arm, and you've got Naga Ray, who doesn't have emotions, and you've got a really cool shot of Hebitsukai Silver, and you've got a really cool shot of the Hebitsukai Voyager, and you've got Hebitsukai Voyager, just in case you didn't know what you were buying, and you meant to buy the 10-min gold, and you're like, ah, shit, I've bought the wrong toy. You've got this, which is like, wow, you can attach the Q-Tama, just like everything else. You've got the Q-Tama can rotate from a dead snake to a cobra. What are we, Bloodstark? I'm sorry, Kamen Rider references. Hebitsukai Voyager, we've got Kirano, you've got, it can be an arm, hey, it can also be a leg, and it can be, you can have that, and you can get that and pay for that, which I don't have because money, and there's another cool shot of Hebitsukai Silver. You've got the Hebitsukai Silver suit, which I really like in the show. You've got another shot of the Hebitsukai Q-Tama like that, and you've got like the rainbow thing at the top, which I've neglected to mention in last video's review. I can't even speak. Well, I'm rambling. This is a box. It stores the toy. Who cares? I care. I like the boxes. Anyway, it's 1 minute, 2 minutes into the review, and I haven't even gotten to the toy. This is the Hebitsukai Q-Tama. It's very similar to the others. It's very grey. That's my only problem with these, and you've got screw holes, because, yeah, screw holes. Zero number 6. Number 06, like I mentioned, it's really weird, because Tenbin is 04, and this is 06, not 5 and 6, or 4 and 5. Let's not get the torch in yet, get out of here. We've got like a dead snake, and you've got the other side of the dead snake, and then you rotate it, it's like, whoa, it forms a cobra. And I've mentioned this in one of my other reviews, and I've neglected to mention it in the Tenbin Voyages review, but this is like discolored, like the image is discolored, and I don't know if that's just mine, or if I'm doing something to mine that's causing discoloration, or if that's just what they're like. Like, one side is clearly darker grey than the other, and it kind of worries me a bit. Anyway, let's get that beautiful picture of Naga Ray coming in here. Don't shine the light at the camera. This is actually one of those cool ones where it's like Ryu Commanders, where you can actually kind of tell the Ranger, like the Ranger's a different colour slightly. This is what's coming out much better than Tenbin Gold. But before we get to that, we'll take a look at the Hebitsukai Voyager without a Q-Tama, which I really like. This is like the Cobra arm form, and like this is basically its arm, so I kind of don't want to transform it, but I will, because reviewer, there's its head. It's like, hey guys, welcome back. But yeah, I really dig this guy. I kind of wish this was the Voyager. I almost wish it didn't have a robot mode. But then they wouldn't look as good on the shelf next to each other, which I will bring up in a sec. But let's get this guy in a robot mode, because this guy has a cool robot mode, just like Tenbin Gold. So let's get to it. So you just plug the Q-Tama in. It's like pretty standard stuff, and it just plugs in, and then you do actually unpeg this. Mine weren't pegged in because, yeah, professional reviewer. You want to come back and bring up the head. It's basically the same as Tenbin Gold, but you want to split apart the arms like that, and then you just kind of bring the whole front up like that, and then you just I'm not gonna say finagle, because that's what I said like all last review. And there you have Tenbin, wow, Hebitsukai Voyager in its robot mode, and he does not stand. Okay, like Tenbin is bad. This guy, at least on mine, does not stand at all. But yeah, considering I mentioned Tenbin so much, this is Tenbin, this is Hebitsukai. Bad shot, but this is what they look like together. I'll do like a proper shot at the end of the video, but here's just a quick comparison. Very similar toy, but they look really good together. Let's just get to the articulation of this guy, because it's basically identical to Tenbin. The arms go every 45 degrees all the way around. You've got the elbow joint, which does this, does that. There is no rotation on the bicep, tricep, whatever that is. There's no rotation. These arms cannot, like, do that. I mean, you break them. You can rotate them at the joint, which I think I forgot to mention. And they go all the way out like that. There is no head rotation, just like on 10-bin you can do that weird thing where it's like, but do not recommend. No. Let's take a look at the legs. The legs are basically the same. They go all the way out, all the way out. The knee ratchets all the way in and all the way straight, and the feet ratchet like 3 times. So this guy he has a lot of posability, but it's mainly so he can stand, and this guy does not stand. Again, he's got that weird Q-Ranger one-sided paint apps, which is, I think it's like that in the show, but it's just weird. Like, this guy looks cool because it's red on black, or red on grey, but there is a bit of black, and it's not like 10-bin where it's just like all white and whatever. But I kind of dig it. The hands are also molded in. I neglected to mention that in 10-bin's review, but the hands are actually molded in really nicely and holding this. So this is like a blade. It's also the Cobra's fang, but it's like a blade. I dig that. So the shoulders in this guy don't look as good in my opinion, because on 10-bin they actually had like a bit of bulk and it worked, but now I'm just nitpicking the toy. But yeah, whatever. Backside also looks pretty bad, just like 10-bin's. I really don't like that, but what can you do? It's a bit hard to get away with it. The details are basically the same as in the legs. Like this whole body piece is the same with the exception of the head and the arms. That's it, and paint. Like, otherwise it's the same toy. The Cobra's head is really nicely molded. I don't know if you can see it, but the eyes have got like a sort of robotic look to them, and they look really good. The shoulders also have like the eye. Let me get the side that's painted. Sort of like an eye type thing. Reminds me of Hebitsukai metal. If you've seen Q-Ranger, you know what Hebitsukai metal is. But I dig, and I also like the arm sculpt up here. It's like very snakish, and it just looks good. It really just does look good. That head sculpt is also really nice. It reminds me of a Voyager helmet, and I don't know why. There's a lot of stuff that Q-Ranger reminds me of, like the, I'll get into it in Gigant Ho-Oh's review, but Gigant Ho-Oh reminds me of something, but this reminds me of a Voyager helmet, and I can't figure out why. I also have shaky hands, so I do apologize, but very nicely detailed. It's even got like the leveling, and I love the little snake piece. Is this like a snake piece? I don't know. I assume that's like a Cobra, but I really like this toy. So we did a stand test really quick, and oh my god, he stands. Wow, you can't even do that on my shelf. But yeah, let's get him combined. Yep, sorry, Hebitsukai changed position because I always have the habit of filming these guys in arm mode first, but it doesn't make sense because like I have to combine it with Ryuteo. Anyway, let's bring in Kireno with no leg, and we're just going to lay him there, and we're going to do the leg mode for this guy because it's very similar. It's basically identical to 10-bin. So you just fold this in, and it does click. It clicks down. You just collapse the legs. There is no pegging into anything in this thing, and then you just kind of fold the head up. So I always forget to do that on camera. And then you just kind of peg the head together. And the instructions just say to leave it out like that. Of course, like maneuver it up, type thing. They say to leave it out like that, but just attach it to this side or whatever side you want, and there you have Hebitsukai as a leg. One sec. Boom! There they are. There's they ruined the shot. We've got the mecha that does not stand properly, and the reviewer that can't talk properly. But yeah, this guy with two legs just leans forward. At least on this surface, it doesn't normally on like a desk, but because the shelf is slightly sloped because of my bed, it does stand. But 10-bin looks pretty. Hebitsukai looks decent as a leg. As I mentioned, these guys are pretty bland as legs. There's also a lot of grey, so it just kind of it just doesn't look that great. And the whole idea of the snake head behind, I don't like, because it's hard to stalk, because you could. So this is like a wall, and it's like it's breaking it, but like pretty average leg. Not really going to go into too much detail. It's really hard to review these guys when they're limbs. But let's get to an arm. To be honest, I don't know what that click was for, but we'll transform this guy into an arm. So what we're going to do is we're just going to rotate this whole thing down like that. And remember how I mentioned there were pegs? If you've seen the 10-bin Voyagers review, you'll know that I mentioned these pegs. This guy actually does have the screw holes are actually recessed, so it actually can peg in, and it is meant to. Unlike 10-bin where it just kind of rests there. And you just kind of finagle these to be like fangs, and then you just rotate to the Q-timer, and there you go. There you have Hebitsukai as a arm, which I think looks really cool. The whole Cobra aesthetic looks really nice. Turn it around, it doesn't look as bad as 10-bin did, and from the front and the back, it just looks really good. Like, so there's really not a whole lot to say about these guys because they are basically the same, but none of these hinder articulation. If you rotate it like that, it looks pretty good. So 10-bin is now acting up as a leg, so yeah, nothing too special, but let's get this guy on Ryuteo. Oh, yeah, like I mentioned, Ryuteo does look pretty good with it. Look at all that grey. I really don't like that. As I mentioned in 10-bin's video, I wish this, and all the Q-timer frames were a little bit more metallic than what they are now. There we go, that's what they look like together as arms, and as I mentioned, I really like Ryuteo like this. I think it's a really smart looking thing. They both kind of had the weird folded up robot arm look, which they go for, but as the recommendation is basically the same. These guys are really hard to review, in my opinion, because they're just auxiliaries. They don't have their own mecha. It's not like Gunford and Burka in Voyager where they combine with Carrigator to make Gunbo. These guys just kind of sit off to the side, and the default formation is just to be themselves. So it's a bit weird. But if you really like Hebitsukai Silver or the Hebitsukai Voyager or just Naga in the show, or you're just completing the Q-Ranger line like I was, I recommend it. But if you're just getting him by himself, I really can't recommend it, but it's up to you, your money. I neglected to mention where I got it from last video, but I got this from Hobby Link Japan. I got all my Q-Ranger stuff from Hobby Link Japan. You can of course find it on eBay. I haven't checked Amazon, but I believe you can get it on there. Of course they are way more expensive, like, I don't know why, but they just are. Hobby Link Japan was the way to go for me, so I recommend them. But enough plugging Hobby Link Japan. This has been the Hebitsukai Voyager review. If you really did enjoy, please give it a like, and if you absolutely loved the video and want to see more like it, please hit the subscribe button. I have more stuff planned, and that includes branching off from just Sentai into Rider and PR. So, yeah, thanks guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.